Alright, so a couple days have passed since the One Piece chapter released, and I realized that in every single video I made about the chapter, I forgot to talk about Katakuri. Normally, when I make a mistake like this, I just kind of go about my own day. But the more I thought about Katakuri and his role in the story, the more I wanted to talk about it. So that is why we're here today, to talk about what the heck is going on at Whole Cake Island and the Big Mom Pirates. So to kick things off, let's just rip off the band-aid and ask the big question. Why is Katakuri still in Whole Cake Island? Why is he not running off to go save his sister Pudding? Why is he not getting revenge on Kuzan and Van Augur? Why is he not fighting Jerema 66 because they just attacked him in Oven and stole Caesar Clown? Why is he not looking for Big Mom or Perospero or even Smoothie? There are quite honestly a lot of things this man could be doing, but instead, he's chilling at home. You know, he's watching the Vegapunk broadcast. And I've been seeing some people slander him because of this, saying that he's not going to make a move. You know, the guy's a bum, he's washed up, he got power cliff. And I agree with the power cliffing thing, but I feel like he will get stronger the next time we see him. But that's besides the point. Personally, I feel like it makes a lot of sense as to why he's still home right now. You know, think back to the Straw Hats, think back to any pirate crew we've met throughout the series. Whenever the captain is missing, the crew stands still. The crew just bends their posts, they do what they think is best, and I believe that is what Katakuri is doing. Big Mom isn't here to give orders to go save Pudding. Big Mom isn't here to declare war on Neo Mads. You know, Big Mom isn't here to do many of these things. So Katakuri is defending his home. He's defending Big Mom's territory while she's gone. And I do agree that Katakuri could assist in the search for Big Mom, the search for Perospero, and all these other characters that we lost at Onigashima. But when you think about it, his brother Daifuku is out there, his sister Smoothie is out there as well, and they're in that vicinity. So I feel like it just makes the most sense for him to stay home, right? And when you also think about the distance, right? Whole Cake Island, we actually have an accurate estimate for this, but Whole Cake Island is a week away from Wano. If Katakuri were to leave right now, dude, if somebody attacked Whole Cake, then they'd be defenseless. You know, the best defense they have outside of Katakuri would be Cracker. And we saw what happened to Cracker time and time again. The guy doesn't have a single W. Well, he beat Arouge, actually, but Arouge was already jaded from his fight with Snack. So, you know, like, Cracker has one W, but it's off-screened. But that, you know, you get my point, though, right? Like, if Katakuri were to leave right now, Whole Cake Island would be even more susceptible to attacks than ever, right? They already don't have Big Mom. They already don't have Smoothie and Perospero. If Katakuri leaves, it's game over. And when you really think about it, Whole Cake Island is a pirate hotspot. That is just what happens when you house a road poneglyph within your domain. And here's the thing. We're at the point of the story where many people want to become Pirate King. The last two characters that said that they want to become Pirate King and reach Laugh Tale are Buggy and Shanks. While Buggy might not be a threat on his own, brother has Crocodile. Brother has Mihawk. He has a bunch of random pirate mercenaries at his disposal. If Buggy were to attack Whole Cake Island, how would that go? I do think Mihawk would destroy Katakuri, by the way. You know, I love Katakuri, but I also love Mihawk. But Mihawk would destroy him, right? I think that is without a shadow of a doubt. But if we were to remove Katakuri from the equation entirely and send him to Hachinosu or send him to Wano to find Big Mom, brother, you might as well just hand these guys the poneglyph. You know, like, you're essentially giving it up without a fight. You know, and that's Buggy's group. Now take Shanks' crew into mind, right? They also want to become Pirate King. Brother, the red-haired pirates versus Whole Cake Island, I know who I'm betting on. So yeah, I do think it is smart that he's here defending his home base. And outside of just the pirate group, Whole Cake Island houses more than just the Charlotte family. You know, we got like regular people here just, you know, baking cakes and making snacks. So yeah, I think Katakuri is looking out for the most people he can, given the current circumstance. And as far as Big Mom goes, you know, people are still debating whether she's alive or whether she's dead. Personally, I am leaning towards the fact that she's alive. If you disagree with that, that's totally fine. But either way, since Big Mom isn't here right now, Katakuri really does have his hands tied. Even if he does want to go save Pudding, he can't. Because that's another Yonko. If it's just a random pirate group that's on the next island, I'm sure he would. But we're talking about Blackbeard. We're talking about Hachinosu. You know, like, you can't exactly gather all the troops, leave Whole Cake, and try to rescue Pudding. That's not possible. It's not really a decision that he can make. So I do feel for Katakuri in this situation. I don't think the Katakuri slander is necessary. But as far as people saying that Katakuri wouldn't even stand a chance against the Blackbeard pirates, I agree with that to a certain extent. I feel like Katakuri could take on a lot of the Blackbeard crew, but he would get stopped eventually, right? Whether it be Shiryu, whether it be Kuzan, or Blackbeard himself, doesn't matter. But people are saying that Katakuri wouldn't stand a chance whatsoever, and that it would just be a bad decision. Here's the thing. One Piece and a lot of characters in this series have made bad decisions. That is just what happens when you're a pirate. You know, and here's the thing, like, just because Katakuri won't win the fight against the Hachinosu pirates and Blackbeard doesn't mean that he shouldn't try. Katakuri's a conqueror. These guys are stubborn. These guys have that MC energy. You know, when you look at the list of conquerors, whether it be Kid, who, you know, fought Shanks even though he knew he would lose, essentially. You know, we got Luffy over here fighting Kaido and Big Mom at Onigashima. The guy got one-tapped by Kaido in the same arc. You know, look at any of the Conquerors hockey users, and you'll realize that every single one of these guys are stubborn. Even Don Chinjiao. Garp beat Don Chinjiao. Don Chinjiao still has a grudge to this very day. Well, until Luffy, you know, fixed that at Dressrosa. But you get what I'm saying. These guys do not give up on their morals. They don't compromise. What I'm trying to say is that even though Pudding has been captured by one of the strongest characters in the verse, i.e. Blackbeard, that's not going to stop Katakuri from trying to fight him anyways. Even if Katakuri knows he's going to lose, it's a fight he can't back down from. And something that we should keep in mind as well is, one, how important Pudding is for the Big Mom Pirates, and two, Katakuri's entire character. Because when we first met this guy, you know, we heard the rumor that Katakuri never once laid on his back. He doesn't lay flat on the ground. He's never touched it. He's never known defeat. And we come to realize that that's a lie. You know, when Katakuri eats food, he lays on his back. He has a jolly old time. You know what I mean? Like, he takes off the scarf and he has the crazy mouth, but he puts on the scarf so that he keeps his perfect image up. The reason he does this is because he wants to protect his family from anybody. You know, he saw what happened to Brûlé, and he promised himself that he would never be weak ever again. And it's like, yeah, like, Katakuri cares about these family members. Yeah, he'll sometimes knock sense into them, like what he did to that one loser back during the Luffy fight. But yeah, like, I do think Katakuri, if he could go, he would go. But outside of that, though, Pudding. She is not someone that Big Mom would forsake. You know, I don't know about the other family members when it comes to Big Mom and how she feels about them, but I guarantee you, Pudding would be at the top of Big Mom's list of people you should not F with. Pudding is a member of the Three-Eye Tribe, the only member that we've seen in the entire story thus far, and the only member in Big Mom's crew who has 3 eyes. And Big Mom said that the minute she awakens, they'll be able to read the poneglyphs. You know, Pudding will be tapped into nature or whatever she said, and Pudding will be very valuable. Pudding is essentially Big Mom's Robin. Without a Robin in your crew, you stand no chance when it comes to finding Laugh Tale, when it comes to the ancient weapons, or knowing about the Void Century. Pudding is that important. You know, like, Big Mom cannot simply hear the news that, oh, Pudding's captured? You know, Blackbeard can have her. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that once Big Mom arrives, once she learns the news, if she's alive, of course, then they will go after Pudding. I feel like that is 100% in the cards. And even Pudding herself said, hey, the minute Big Mom finds out about this, you guys are going to pay if she's alive. It's kind of like me, right? Like, if Big Mom's alive, there's gonna be hell to pay. You know, they're not just gonna let Blackbeard capture Pudding. It is as simple as that. So yeah, those are kind of just my thoughts on the whole Katakuri situation. As far as Smoothie and Mont Dior, Pedospear, and all of them, I really have no clue what's going on with them. I feel like they could have found Kaido, they could have found Big Mom, but it's also been a long time. It has been a long time since we've seen them. And in the story of One Piece, you know, after Luffy and the group beat them, we spent, I think it was like a week at Wano recovering. We had the party, you know, they fixed up the ship, we had another party, and then we set sail to Egget Island, and a couple days passed. And it's like, yo, like, Big Mom still isn't home to our knowledge. When we saw Smoothie and Mont Dior react to this message, Oda made sure to hide the background. You know, we didn't see what we saw in this chapter in 1119. No. Katakuri, you're over here seeing like Chocolate Town. You know, you got the buildings, you got, you know, the family members. No. For Smoothie, who was the closest person to Big Mom by proximity, we didn't get to see that. You know, Oda just whited out that background. So yeah, I think Oda's cooking a little bit here. I don't know where he's going to go with the Big Mom Pirates, but I would love if Big Mom were to fight Blackbeard, you know, try to rescue Pudding. I think she would lose because, you know, narrative purposes and because Blackbeard is such a mystery right now. But I think it would be interesting. I think it would definitely be an interesting matchup. And I think it would be a great way to bring back a lot of fan favorite characters. Like I said earlier, you know, Katakuri was a fan favorite at one point. So I think it would be nice seeing what he can do. And hey, if we were to spin this in the opposite direction and say Big Mom is dead, then I want to see who becomes the next leader of the Big Mom Pirates. Is it Pedo? Is it Katakuri? Is it Strusen? Because we know he kind of groomed Big Mom into that role. Like, I feel like that would just make it even more interesting. And even though this might not be the most important plot point in the final saga, I still think it is going to be something that Oda does tackle, right? In this chapter, for example, we got like 3 or 4 reaction panels of Whole Cake Island. You know, this might be the most consecutive panel space I've ever seen when it comes to reaction piece. So yeah, I think this is really important, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. What do you think about Katakuri? What do you think about the Big Mom Pirates? What do you think is going to happen to them? Do you think more Yonko are going to attack, like Buggy, like Shanks? Or no, do you entirely disagree with this, and you think that the Big Mom Pirates don't matter anymore? I would love to hear any and all thoughts down below. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll catch you guys later. Signing out.